Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. So today I have a story for you. And the story is how I fractured both my wrists. So a lot of people ask me this, like all my friends, like they're like, oh my god, how did you do it? And it's actually quite a long story. So I thought that I'd just make a video and then I'd just be like, you know what, if you want to know, just go and watch my video. So this happened 2 weeks ago. And I actually just got this cast changed because I had to, I'll explain this later, but I had to get this cast changed. So I'm going to insert a picture of what it looked like when they were changing it. And disclaimer, if you don't like gross things or you can't handle it, don't look at the picture. It's really gross. So yeah, I'll insert a picture right here. Alright, now that you just saw it, it's disgusting, I know. Honestly, the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, 2 weeks ago, me and my brother went to motocross, like we do pretty much every day. Well, he does. He actually works at the motocross place, so he's actually the one who got me into motocross. So we went and we were just doing like a few rounds. It was like a normal day. And I was actually thinking to myself on the drive there, I was like, wow, I haven't had a really bad fall yet. So anyway, we went and I did like a few rounds, and then my brother went in because he was gonna go take a break, and then I was just like, oh, I'll just do one short round. What I mean by short round is that there's a long track. It's all part of the same track, but there's a long track that like you can keep going after the exit, the first one, or there's a short track that you can do. So I was just gonna do a short track, which would take me 3 minutes max. There's this thing that like you can turn around in, like if you're gonna go in and then you're gonna turn around and go back out onto the track. So I realized that I was in 4th gear, and so once you get around like this track that you're gonna go back out onto the track, if that makes any sense, there's a turn. I was driving a standard, so I like a stick shift. So you need to shift down on corners, but I've lost track how many times I shifted up. And I go on 4th gear pretty much all the time because I do jumps and stuff. So I was on 4th gear and I didn't realize it. So when I was going around the corner, I just like usually slow down my bike. I know it's bad. I know I'm supposed to shift, okay? I usually shift, but for this time I just didn't shift. I was just gonna slow down because I forgot that I was on 4th gear. My throttle actually got stuck going around the corner. So you can imagine what happened then was I flew off like where the corner was supposed to be. I flew off of it, and then there was like this ditch, and it was like a 10-foot ditch or something like that. Flew into that. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure that I was still holding on to my bike as I hit the ground. But I'm not exactly sure because this all happened in literally under 5 seconds. Like, I don't remember. Everyone asked me, they're like, were you holding onto your bike? Did you point out arms first? Like, I don't remember. It all happened so quickly. Nobody actually watched me do it because there's like this sort of like part of the turn, there's an inner rim that you can go through, or there's an outer rim, which is a little bit easier, and the rim goes up sort of high, so you can't really see when you're going around that corner until you've already gone around it. So nobody actually saw me do it. Everyone just sort of heard me scream after. It hurt so badly. Again, I don't remember if I landed straight out or if I was still holding onto the bike, but the bike didn't fall on me or the bike didn't crush me or anything like that. But I just don't remember what happened. I didn't black out or anything, but it just happened so fast. People heard me scream, and then I don't know who it was, but this lady came and she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna go and get you help. But I was just rolling around, like on the ground. I was rolling around for solid 5 minutes, and then she got the owner, and then the owner told my brother to call my mom, so she called my mom, and then they called the ambulance. And if you didn't know, but when you call the ambulance, they actually bring fire trucks first. So that's actually what happened. The fire truck actually got there before the ambulance did. Before the ambulance did, so the fire truck got there before the ambulance did, and so they were just sort of like asking me like, what's my name? Do I know my name? What's my birthday? Did you black out? Do you have any spinal problems? That's the one thing that they're so concerned about is your spine okay? I was asked so many times if my spine was okay. A bunch of people there, like there was this other guy who was actually a paramedic before who was also riding at the track at the same time as me. He was holding onto my head because apparently I wasn't supposed to move my neck, but I did anyway because I was so uncomfortable, like I couldn't stop moving. Paramedics finally got there and they didn't want to move me because I had like pains in my legs and they didn't know if like my spine, if anything happened to my back or my neck or something like that. So they didn't move me, pretty much transferred me onto this board. So like they had to like roll me on my side and then slide something underneath me and then roll me on my other side and slide something underneath me. So they did that, and then they put me on a stretcher, and then they put me in the ambulance. So they put me in the ambulance, and then they actually had to put a neck brace on me because it was like precaution. Like my back was fine, and so was my neck. It's just a precaution. Like if you're under a certain age, you have to have one on during like one of those events. So they had to put one on me, which was really annoying because it was the most uncomfortable thing ever. So anyway, got to the hospital. And they cleaned up my face because I also, my helmet came and like hit me in the nose, and I actually have like a split on my nose. They got me to the hospital, they cleaned me up, and then they're like, a doctor came and he's like, okay, I was still on a stretcher here. It was like an emergency and I was like all strapped down and stuff. So it was really nice. But so the doctor came, he's like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take x-rays, then we're going to set and cast your wrists, then you're gonna go and get more x-rays. So they did that, they sent me to the x-rays, and then they brought me back, and then they put me to sleep, and then they set my wrists and put casts on them. And then when I woke up, I went to go and get more x-rays. And then after we went back into my room, and then they told me like what was going on. And he said that when he was setting my wrist, that my right wrist just kept like flopping around. Like that's actually what he said. He said that my wrist was just kept flopping around and like it couldn't hold. So he said that I had to get surgery. I was originally supposed to get plates put in my wrist, and then like the plates would just never be taken out unless they really bothered me. But so yeah, they told me to come back the next day, and then I was going to get surgery sometime that day. They didn't know when because they were just going to slide me in between surgeries. So yeah, I went home. I was on a lot of like pain medication. Like I was on morphine in the hospital. They sent me home with some like morphine in a tablet pretty much, and then they're like, take Tylenol if you need it. So yeah, I was on a lot of drugs. I had to sleep with my arms up on a pillow so that they wouldn't swell too bad. So I went to bed, and I woke up the next day and we went to the hospital at like the time that they told us. Being in the hospital, I waited all day. Yeah, sometime like today, probably in the next 2 hours or so, you're gonna get your surgery. But my surgery actually didn't happen that day. So I pretty much got there at, I think it was 10:30, and then the whole day I was waiting. I was just waiting. I couldn't do anything. We had to stay there just in case a spot opened up. We couldn't leave. I also couldn't eat. The night before they told me that I couldn't eat after the hours of 12. So I couldn't eat, and I didn't even end up getting my surgery that day. That annoyed me so badly because I was so hungry and I wasn't allowed to eat just in case, a spot opened up. So I wasn't allowed to eat for the whole day. Didn't even end up getting my surgery that day, so I was really angry. I actually ended up having to stay overnight in the hospital because I was going to be like one of the first surgeries in the morning. So I stayed overnight in the hospital. My best friend Gabby, who was in the best friend tag with me, she actually stayed over in the hospital with me, so God bless her. She made it fun. She was Nurse Gabby, so everyone just hashtag Nurse Gabby for me. So yeah, she stayed over, and then the next day, I was second, I think it was at 9 o'clock I got my surgery at. I went to surgery, it was really, really scary. Like the room just looks like one of those rooms that you imagine that surgery would be in. It's really scary, and it's so cold in there. It is so cold. I had like 4 blankets on and it was freezing. They put me to sleep, which I hate being put to sleep. If you know me, I hate being put to sleep. It like terrifies me. I wake up, trippy as always, obviously. It's really trippy when you wake up after these things. So anyway, they take me back to my room, and then the doctor comes in. He's like, yeah, it went fine. You're fine. He's just like, we actually didn't end up putting plates in. We just put it in pins. So that's the picture that you saw earlier. It was the pins in my wrist. So that was actually kind of a plus because I didn't really want to have plates in my wrist for the rest of my life. I had to stay there for 6 hours after that, just so that like they could see that like I could eat and like drink and not be sick and stuff like that. And then I went home and I was in a lot of pain for a few days. Like I was on so much medication as well, like Tylenol every 4 hours, and then if I needed it, that weird morphine pill stuff. So I was on it. It hurt pretty badly. They're fine now, but yeah, I just wanted to do this update because a lot of people were asking me like how like my story and like what happened. So yeah, this was my story, and I will hopefully be editing for some people soon. I know that I say that every time, but they never send me clips, so you know who you are. So yeah, hopefully see you in another video. Bye.
Lift my heart up when the rest of me is down.